Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Man, Pluribus just keeps delivering those gut punch moments, doesn't it? Episode 4, Please Carol, had me on the edge of my seat the whole time. Vince Gilligan is a master at turning quiet desperation into full-blown chaos. If you've been following along, you know Carol's been pushing the Hive's buttons since that grenade blow-up in episode 3. Now, she's going all in, and that ending? Whew, it's emotional whiplash. We're diving deep into the main events, that wild ending, Carol's next potential plan, why she's breaking down in tears, the formula she uses, yep, that's Thiopental sodium, more on that, and some sensible theories to tie it all together. I assume you've watched episode 4, so no basic recap, but we'll unpack the layers with hidden details and what it means for the series. If this gets you theorizing, drop your takes in the comments. Would you go as far as Carol? Hit subscribe for more breakdowns, and let's get into it. Episode 4 Overview. Please, Carol, Escalation, Interrogation, and Heartbreaking Fallout. Okay, episode 4 picks up right where Grenade left off, with Carol exploiting the Hive's inability to say no. It's a character-driven hour, heavy on Rhea Seehorn's powerhouse performance as Carol wrestles with grief, isolation, and that burning need for answers about reversing the joining, the process where the virus absorbs people into the Hive mind. The title, Please, Carol, is a chilling callback to the Hive's pleas, and the ep introduces more world-building through new faces. Guest star Jeff Hiller pops up as a quirky Hive avatar, maybe a former comedian, adding some dark humor amid the tension. We also get more on Manusos Oviedo, Carlos Manuel Vesca, the paranoid self-storage manager from Paraguay who's been dodging the Hive like a pro, hiding in his bunker with canned goods and conspiracy theories. Carol tries contacting him again, but language barriers and his distrust make it a no-go for now. Hidden detail. Manusos mutters about El Código Alienígena, the alien code, hinting he might have decoded part of the space signal himself. Could be key later. The main thrust is Carol's hospital visit to Zosha, Carolina Wydra, who's recovering from the grenade shrapnel. Zosha's all smiles, but Carol grills her. Can the Hive lie? No. How to reverse the joining? Crickets. They deflect with, we just want to help. It's frustrating, showing the Hive's programming has safeguards against self-sabotage. Carol snaps, demanding answers about Helen. Does her wife's essence still love her in the collective? Zosha's vague responses push Carol over the edge. She storms out, but not before sneaking into the pharmacy. Hive doesn't stop her. Can't say no, remember? She grabs vials of Thiopental sodium, needles, and other supplies, pretending it's for heroin to throw them off. Back home, she tests the drug on herself, injects a small dose, records a video confession spilling her deepest regrets about Helen, like ignoring her during that Norway vacation flashback. It's raw. The drug acts like a truth serum, lowering inhibitions. Seehorn's vulnerable here, mumbling about her self-loathing and how she'd do anything to get Helen back. Important point. This self-test confirms the formula works, setting up the big risk. Cut to the interrogation. Carol wheels Zosha out of the hospital, handcuffs herself to the chair for safety. Smart, but ironic. She spikes Zosha's IV with Thiopental sodium, suppressing her consciousness to bypass the Hive's blocks. Questions fly. How do I reverse the joining? Where's the origin signal's weakness? Zosha slurs partial answers, something about neural inhibitors, and the code needs a key. But side effects kick in. Slurred speech, convulsions. The Hive senses it. Dozens gather, faces wet with tears. First time we've seen them cry, huge shift from their eternal bliss. They chant, "Please, Carol," in unison, begging her to stop. It's eerie, the whole world weeping, as Wydra described in interviews. Zosha goes into cardiac arrest, collapsing. Carol freaks, yelling for the Hive to save her. They snap the handcuffs like twigs, showing their strength when pushed, and swarm in with CPR and defibs. Episode fades on Carol sobbing amid the chaos. How was episode 4 overall? Tense and tragic, with Gordon Smith's direction ramping up the claustrophobia. Lots of tight shots on faces, amplifying the emotional stakes. It's less action, more psychological, exploring agency and betrayal. Pacing builds slowly to that explosive end, and the acting? Wydra makes Zosha feel tragically human despite being Hive-bound. The formula Carol uses. Thiopental sodium, truth serum, or deadly gamble? Let's break down the science. Carol uses Thiopental sodium, an injectable intravenous anesthetic, also known as sodium pentothal.
It's a barbiturate that depresses the central nervous system, used historically as a, quote, truth serum because it lowers inhibitions and makes people more suggestible. In the show, Carol doses herself first, about 100 milligrams intravenous, to verify. It knocks her loopy, forcing honest ramblings captured on video. For Zosha, she ups it, maybe 300 to 500 milligrams via intravenous drip, aiming to crack the Hive's mental barriers. Sensibly, this ties into real pharmacology. Thiopental induces rapid unconsciousness, but can cause respiratory depression or cardiac issues if overdosed. Exactly what happens to Zosha. Why this formula? Carol's no chemist, but the Hive's hospital has it stocked, pre-joining medical supplies. It's a clever exploit. The drug targets individual biology, temporarily silencing the collective link. Hidden detail. During Zosha's slurs, she mentions the formula disrupts the glue, referencing the virus as psychic glue. This could hint thiopental, or similar, is a clue to an antivirus. Maybe barbiturates interfere with the RNA integration. Theories here. One fan idea is Carol stumbled on a partial cure. If refined, it could eject people from the Hive. Another, the aliens designed the virus to be vulnerable to Earth chems like this, as a backdoor for control. Practically, it shows Carol's desperation. She's willing to risk murder for answers. Why the crying? Carol's emotional breakdown and the weight of betrayal. That ending shot of Carol crying, it's not just tears, it's a full, ugly cry, shoulders shaking as the Hive chants around her. Why? Overwhelmed, first off. The sight of hundreds weeping, pleading, "Please, Carol," hits like a tidal wave. It's the whole world crying, as Wydra put it, making Carol confront the Hive's humanity. They're not monsters, they're absorbed people, including echoes of Helen, feeling real pain. Her plan backfired spectacularly. Zosha's collapse forces Carol to beg for help, flipping the power dynamic. It's regret, too. Carol's grief over Helen drove this, but harming Zosha, who's been kind in her way, mirrors her past neglect of relationships. Sensibly, it's a turning point. Carol realizes exploiting the Hive isn't victimless, it erodes her own morality. Hidden gem. The tears sync with the Hive's. Notice Carol wipes her face, mirroring Zosha's earlier gesture. Subtle hint of empathy bleeding through? Thematically, it's about agency. Carol screams for the Hive to save Zosha, betraying her independence. Why cry now? Failure. She got fragments, neural keys, but no full reversal. It's cathartic release after bottling grief. Theories. Emotional contagion. Maybe close proximity to the drugged Zosha lets Hive emotions leak into immunes. Or, darker, Carol's crying because she senses Helen's disappointment through the collective. Wild one. The tears are the virus adapting, using empathy as a new infection vector. Carol's plan for next. Repercussions, rebuilding, and theories on what's coming. What does Carol decide post-chaos? The ep doesn't spell it out. Gilligan loves cliffhangers, but her plan shifts from aggression to strategy. Next, likely regroup. Contact Minusos for alliance. His bunker could hide experiments. Refine the Thiopental. Demand Hive labs to synthesize a safer version for mass reversal. But consequences loom. The Hive might restrict her access now, or evolve to no loopholes. Sensibly, Carol's arc points to redemption. Rebuild trust with Zosha, who survives, per interviews, to pry more intel willingly. She might demand global immune meetups using Hive transport. Theories to geek out on. Theory 1. Hive evolution. Zosha's near-death teaches the collective pain, making them more human and aggressive toward immunes in Episode 5. Theory 2. Partial success. The slurred answers, key in the code, mean Carol deciphers the space signal next, hacking the virus digitally. Theory 3. Self-infection risk. Carol's self-test exposed her. Subtle symptoms, like empathy tears, hint she's slowly joining. Her plan becomes internal resistance. Theory 4. Helen twist. Zosha's survival lets Helen's essence speak through her, forcing Carol to choose, reverse and lose Helen forever, or join. Metaphorically, it's Gilligan critiquing isolation. Carol's plan might embrace partial unity for peace. Episode 4's end is a game changer, blending horror with heart. What do you think? Did Carol go too far? Zosha dead or alive? Comment your theories. If you loved this, check our full Episode 4 breakdown and subscribe for Episode 5. Stay strong out there. Peace.